Hi guys, and welcome to part 6 of my tutorial. This time we're gonna upgrade our sprite to a sprite sheet, and we're going to make a solid walking animation. This video is probably going to take longer than usual, and I'm probably not going to talk a lot. If the video gets too long, I'll upload it in parts, in 2 parts. So firstly, I want to organize my asset folder by adding some new folders. Let's store our sprites in here, our scripts in here, the animations we're going to make in here. That's alright. Okay. So let's delete this sprite, because as I said, we're gonna upgrade to a sprite sheet. So import a new asset. Here's our sprite sheet, and as you can see, it contains actually it's one large sheet with multiple small sprites on it, and we have to open it up in the sprite editor to cut all those small pieces out of it. But let's first set the max size to a larger amount and make the format true color. This will cause it to compress less, so that the sprites are better visible, are of a better quality. So let's set the sprite mode to multiple and open it up in editor, and we're gonna slice it automatically. Minimum size sphere, pivot center, and we're gonna slice. Let's take a look. The distance between the shadow and walking and our player is a bit too much, so it didn't get detected that the shadow is also part of the sprite, but it's easy to fix. And this small part is a fault. Probably there is something there. So let's slice it and apply it to it. Close it, and there we have our sprites, and they all look pretty good. So let's go back to our player and let's add a component. Go to rendering, not rendering, to miscellaneous, yeah, and we add an animator, and our animator will basically control our animations. So let's add a few animations. Make a idle down, make idle up, idle left, idle right. So these are the animations that well, it's not really an animation, but these are the sprites that will be shown when he's facing right while he's not walking, so he's actually idle. We're gonna do start down, and basically this is also just one sprite, and it will be shown just before he starts walking, so that there is a smooth transition between his idle animation and his walking animation, and it will look nice. It's a bit more work, but it certainly pays off. Start right, start left. And if you don't understand what I'm doing right now, I'll show it to you later. You'll definitely understand it. And now we wanna add the walking animations itself. Walk right, walk left, walk left, right, up, walk down. Okay, we have made all our animations, so let's first go to, I misspelled that, idle down, idle. Okay, so yeah, let's go back to our idle down, and we're gonna add the right sprite to it. And that's this one, if I'm right. Yeah, that's this one. So let's add it here. Let's make it here. And when we go back to our animator or start our game, you'll start facing towards the camera, or if you'd like, you'll start with idle down. Later on I'll also make the animation system to change between the animations, but for now let's just add our animations, add our sprites to the animation we have just made. Just organize this, and when I'm done I'm gonna start with that. Yeah, that's okay. So if I start, you won't be running. Oh, that's odd. Always animate. Let's continue. So we got our idle down. Let's set up our idle up. This one is our idle up. Idle left. This one is our idle left. Idle right. This one is our idle right. Start down. So the start down is this one, and it's basically just a sprite that smoothens the transition, and it should only be displayed once, so it is not included in the walking animation itself, but it is included in the transition between the idle animation to the walking animation. Start up. What's this one? Start right. start left. That's this one. And you can also actually we've come to the walking animations. So set your sample to the amount that you've based your animation on, and we now got our walk right animation, and it starts with this sprite. So let's add that one. Then it everything's going wrong. Go to this one, this one, this one. Okay. Let's set the interval right. This is good. And after it comes, once it comes to the last sprite, it will automatically immediately go back to the first sprite. So we've got to change that. Let's add the first sprite here, so it'll take some time till he reaches the end of the animation and loops again. And let's do the same for the other walking animations. You can skip this if you don't want to see it. Basically it's just I'm just going to repeat it for all the animations. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Set this to 24. And it's not difficult, it just takes some time. The first left animation, that's this one. Let's add this one here, right? Yeah. Walk up. Let's make it 24. This one, this one, this one, and then the first again. Looks good. You can see they're all the same. Walk down as these four. Then the first one again. There we go. So now we have finished. I don't know. Let's just continue. It doesn't matter if the video gets too long. So we got our animation set up, and now we want to control the animations. We want to set conditions for when the animation is going to change. So for example, if I go to the left, we want a script to detect that we are going to the left and setting the conditions, the parameters for the animations to true, so that the animation switches from idle down to idle left to start left to walk left. And when we stop walking, we want that parameter to change to false, so that we go back to idle left. So if you don't understand, you're just going to have to watch it through, because it will get easier once I am finished. It will get more easy to understand. So we're gonna make a few parameters. Let's call this idle. No, let's just call this right. Boolean. And they're all going to be booleans. We don't want anything else. Yeah, this is the right amount. Left, up, down, walk, right. Oh wow. What? Cancel. What was that? Because there's the same. Wow. Walk left. Walk up. Walk down. Okay, we got our parameters set up. Now we're gonna control the transitions. So our character starts in the idle. It's still called idle down. No, that's odd. It should refresh. It doesn't matter. So we want our character to be able to make a transition to idle left, idle up, and idle right, because it starts. He starts in the idle down state, and when he's left, we want it to be able to make a transition to start left. So this will be just one frame to initiate the walking animation, and then we're going to change the transition frame to the walking animation itself, and this one is going to loop, and when he ends we want it to go back to idle left. So let's yeah, that's a good setup, so you can see what actually happens. So he's idle down, and when we go to the left, he will first go to idle left, then to our first frame between our walk animation and our idle animation, and then he's immediately going to our walk left animation, and he's going to loop that, and once we stop walking to the left, he'll change to the idle left animation. So let's put you gotta make the whole system complete, so you gotta do it for all the idle states. So make a transition to this one, make a transition to this one, to this one, and now we've make one to this one, to this one, and to this one. So now we can change to all the idle animation if we set up the parameters the right way, and from the idle animation it should change to the walking animation. So let's make a transition to the start of the walk animation, to walk animation, to down. Let's make it symmetrical. Start, walk right, idle left. And the final animation. Yeah, that's alright. So now we've got to set all the conditions for these transitions. So that's of course going to take a while, but I'll explain it to you. So let's say he starts at idle down and he changes to idle left, then we gotta change this transition, and let's set it to when left is true. So if we are in our idle situation, in our idle animation or sprite, I'll call it animation, and left becomes true, it'll immediately switch to our idle left animation, the state of player. And of course, if down is true, you'll switch back to idle down. Let's set it up for all these transitions. So if right is true, you'll switch to idle right, and if down is true, you'll switch back. And this is going to take a time. If you understand it, you can already fast forward, skip it. Idle up to right. So if right is true, if up is true, if up is true, if down is true, if up is true, if left is true. And I think that's it. We got all our idle animation transitions. So now let's make the other transitions, the one that are left, the walking animation itself. So he's idle, and once he walks to the left, you want it to change to the start left condition. So we're gonna make this walk left. So as walk left is true, he's going to change the idle state to the start left animation. And when start left is done, and we're gonna control this with the exit time, and we want to make it small. I gotta hit enter. We're gonna make it a small amount, so he'll wait 0.3 seconds in the state of start left, and then we'll change in walk left. And walk left, he'll stay in walk left as long as walk left is true. So once walk left is false, he'll change back to the idle left. And we're gonna do this for all the walk animations, and if you already understand, you can skip it like all the other things before this. So it's idle down. When he walks down, it'll go to the start. When the exit time is over, you'll go to walk down, and when walk down is false, he's going to change to idle down. And maybe this is a bit hard for a beginner, but you just gotta practice it, or else you'll never learn it. So this one is going to be exit time. So after 0.3 seconds, he's going to walk right. he's going to play that animation, and once walk right is false, he's going to back to the idle right animation. The same for idle up. Once walk up is true, it's going to start up. Once the exit time is over, he's going to walk up, and then once walk up is false, he's going to the idle up. So we've set all our conditions, and the last thing we have to do is set up all these conditions inside our script. But that's pretty easy. It's not really hard. So we're going to player. Let's start it up. Just see what he's doing. So he's staying at idle down. And right now if I walk, nothing will happen. He won't change, because we gotta change the parameters inside our script. So let's go to put all these animations inside here. So let's put them in our asset folder. Put them inside our asset folder, and then put them inside our animation folder. No, I don't want that. Wow, sorry for the mistake, guys. I just woke up. Okay, that's alright. So let's go to our script, make a new C# script, and call it player animation. And we're gonna open it up in MonoDevelop, but first we gotta assign it to our player. Wow. Player animation, add component. Okay. So open it up in MonoDevelop. We first got a reference to our animator. So let's make a new variable. Public. Oh wow. Animator, and we'll call it anim, and we'll reference to it in our start function. Anim is equal to get component. So it'll search for the component, and he'll search for the animator component. So we'll put animator here, and that way you make a new variable anim. It's an animator type, and it's a reference to our animator component. And this way we can change the variables in animator anim. Let's delete this reference. Okay. Once we use our A button or our D button, we want our idle parameter to change to true, so that the idle animation of the player in the right direction will be played. So if input point get key code A, then pull. Yeah, that's it. And we gotta write it the right way. So if A is down, then we want our idle down to transition to our idle left animation. So left must be true. Left true. Yeah, that's right. That's okay. This one is from this next room. Let's copy this and paste it so we can change it for the other buttons. S D W. And you can also write this in your walking player movement script, but it will get a bit messy because there will be a lot of things that will be executed in one code. So I like to make a separate code for it, a separate script. Down, up. This one is left. No, I'm not paying attention. Right. So let's save it and just try it out for once. So right now he's idle down, and when we hit A he doesn't. Oh, that's odd. It changes to idle up when I use the D button, and now he's spacing. Oh, that's really odd. Cause these parameters are still checked, so we gotta decheck them. Parameter left does not exist. Huh. You see, I forgot the capital. So you should pay attention always. So I forgot something. Once you use A, you wanna deactivate the other booleans. So let's paste this and let's make this false. False. Sorry guys, you can skip this if it takes too long. Oh wow. Yeah, we did something wrong. Wait. Let's just... I haven't slept so well. This must stay true. The first one must stay true, because we wanted to change to down. And this one must come up, left, right, down, right, left, right, down, up, left. So this time it should work. changes to up, and now it acts weird. It's acting weird. Once we set get key is true, these are false, false, false. It's D. Of course, it's not D. This must be W. And this must be D. And down is S, A is left. So at least this way he starts right. Why? We haven't even set that parameter yet, that transition yet. So let's take a look. Walk right is true. Okay. That's a weird one. So maybe we did something wrong with the transition. If left is true, he's going to change to left, and if up is true, he's going to change to up. Yet these two are working. No, he's changing to left. And now he spaces, because left is still checked while we want to go up, so there is something wrong with our script. Left is A, set ball down. Right, we forgot this one. This one is up. This one is right. And now he's still changing, but that must be something with the transition, because our parameters are working right now. So this one is still exit time, and we don't want that. We want it to become right is true. And this one is also still exit time. Left is true. So that transition, I forgot that transition. So let's save the scene, save the project, start it again, and now it's working as it should. Okay, so we got our idle animations. So let's now set up our walking animations. And these are going to be the same difficulty as the, these are not harder or anything. So if input.getKey is key code A, we want to copy this. Should we copy this? No, we don't need it. We're gonna make something new. If input any key down, no, key down. When we got our key down, it should become, it should set a walk boolean to true, and when we hold it up, it should, yeah, this is the one we want. So key code, let's first start with left. So if A is hold down, we're gonna set our walk left animation to true. Set bool integer string name. Set bool walk left to true. Yeah, that's, and else set walk left to false. Should work this way. Oh, we got an error. Or no, we don't got error. That's odd. Let's just continue for now. Walk right. We'll read what the console says if there is error. So if we hold down the D button, walk right will be true, else it's false. If you hold down our A, if I hold down our S button, walk down will be true, else walk down is false. And finally, if key code W is hold down, walk up is true, else walk up is false. And that's it. It's gotta work. Okay, unexpected error. Unexpected symbol add. Unexpected in class struct. 38. If we have forgot that. So now our error is gone. You should always carefully read the console. So let's watch it now. It goes to idle, but does not go to... It does go, but it immediately changes back. And that's not what we want. So the problem is definitely our parameters. When A is get key down. No, it's not get key down. Get input. Get key. Yeah, it's get key. Wow. Oh, I really should sleep more. Get key, get key, get key. So will it work now? Yeah, now it works. And that looks just fine. It's working as it should. So that's not really a problem right now. We can change that, but the most important thing is that you understand what I've done and how you can create a system like this. And I'll definitely improve it in the future, but right now this is good. It's working as it should. So yeah, that's it, guys. I know it was a long video, but thanks for watching, and have a nice day.